Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Donna Raymond. I'm here this evening to take you through a little educational journey with doTERRA's beautiful certified therapeutic grade essential oils. And we're going to be focusing on the 10 must have oils to have in your home, beautifully dubbed the Home Essentials. So what you're going to learn in this presentation is what essential oils are, how they work, why essential oils need to be in every home, the 10 most common oils to use in your home, why you should choose doTERRA if you haven't already, how to purchase your home essential oils, and I've also got some recipes and blends for you. So let's go. Okay, so in my opinion, essential oils are nature's medicine. Now, they are nothing new. They have been around for a very long time. So the difference between essential oils and our pharmaceutical drugs per se is that the pharmaceutical industry has actually synthesized the natural compounds that we find in plants. And one of the main reasons for that is you can't patent life. So they've synthesized it so that they can create their own patents and their own drugs, yeah? That way that they can regulate the price and the market. So what are essential oils? Essential oils are highly potent and volatile aromatic compounds extracted from plant matter. We can get them from the seeds, flowers, leaves, stems, bark, and roots. So if you've ever had, say, an aromatic herb, let's take peppermint, for instance, if you held that in your hand and you rub that together and you inhale deeply, that aroma that you're getting is actually the releasing of the essential oil. If you have a look down here at the little purple picture there with the little globules, that's actually the oil sac on the leaf that's actually released when you're kind of stirring it up in that sense or agitating it. So there's two main ways that we process essential oils. The first one is from steam distillation, and the second one is from a cold pressed extraction, which is usually reserved for citrus oils. We cold press the rimes. So essential oils are super powerful and they're quite safe to use without many side effects. Obviously, everybody is different, and they're up to 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs or dried herbs. The beautiful part about using essential oils is that they can actually help to support our immunity and our cell function as well. So Western allopathic medicine, say for instance, most antibiotics are actually a water-based medicine. So they're really fantastic for helping to treat bacterial infections. But when we come down to the cell with the cell wall that's super guarded, right, protecting the nucleus of the cell, it's really hard to penetrate that cell wall. The great news is that essential oils do work on a cellular level so that it can actually penetrate the cell wall and really help to assist us whenever we have viral infections. They can just help to support our immune system. So as with anything, safety first. I really encourage you, if you're working with essential oils and you're sharing them, to please pass on this safety information so that we know that everybody is using these potent medicines as safely as possible. So first and foremost, doTERRA oils are certified pure therapeutic grade, meaning that they are actually the most highest quality pure essential oils on the market today, hands down. They're actually the largest essential oil company as well. One drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to around 40 cups of peppermint tea. That's how strong these oils are, yeah? One drop. So the therapeutic potency of the oils is not based on aromatic strength or flavor. So really keep that in mind if you're using it with cooking. Say, for instance, a peppermint oil, if you were going to be using it in bliss balls, you're only using a drop or two at a time. Some oils are so strong that they can cause burns and irritation, so please use cautiously and always keep out of reach of children, and always read the labels before use. So your general essential oil safety is that we're storing that in glass, not any plastics. Being mindful that citrus oils are photosensitive. So what that means is that if you're applying the citrus oil topically, you wouldn't be going out in direct sunlight for around 12 to 24 hours because it can amplify a sunburn effect on the skin. Always read the bottles before use. We never apply to any of our eyes or mucous membranes. Always dilute as a general rule of thumb until you learn a little bit more or understand how your body works with some essential oils. And of course, definitely diluting with children, but make sure that you keep it out of reach. I even know that my children like to rummage through my storage box, and it's quite easy for them to unscrew the bottle. So just make sure you're keeping them up high and educating them as well. Oops, went back. So, how to use essential oils. There are three main ways that we use essential oils. The first one is aromatically, so that is with the diffuser or a diffuser pendant as well. We can breathe straight out of the bottle. The second one is topically, so you would be applying a carrier oil. I'm going to speak about fractionated coconut oil. I love fractionated coconut oil because it doesn't have any extra smell with it, and it's a really thin based oil that doesn't have any greasy residue. It's a beautiful carrier oil for me, and internally as well. As I go through these slides from doTERRA, you'll see their main promotional slides, and you'll notice the little coloured circles with the N, S, and D on it. So what they mean is N means neat, which means that you can generally, this is generally speaking, use them straight out of the bottle. So that would be for your really mild oils like lavender and frankincense. S means sensitive, so you're still diluting it. S would be like your peppermints, which can create some type of a sensitive response or minor skin irritations, depending on your body. And the red D is to dilute heavily. These are for your more hot oils. So I'll explain these as we go through. So essential oils can be used pretty much from birth to death. They have a place for every part of our life. It does become a lifestyle when we use it for our natural health and well-being. We can use them for natural alternative for medicine, in actual fact more prevention medicine, non-toxic cleaning. We can use them for our health and well-being, pain management and relief, immune support. We can use them to enhance our mood for emotional healing and support, stress management, spiritual connection, and tools for healing. So I just shared this beautiful little slide with respects to how we can have natural alternatives that are readily available from nature that are here in their purest form rather than using those over-the-counter drugs. So for instance, if you have a look at the Breathe bottle down the bottom, the blue one, which is also known as Easy Air in Australia, that's pretty much your equivalent for Vicks. And I like to use this on my children whenever they're sniffling. I like to diffuse it as well to open up the respiratory tract. So the 10 must-have oils. I just need to prephrase, I guess is the word, that these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and that I am not here to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. I'm simply sharing education. I trust that you become empowered to research these on your own. Don't take anything that I say for face value. Please do your own research. And yeah, I look forward to the journey ahead for sharing what I know in my own experiences as well. So the first oil that we have is the beautiful lavender. I've got my bottles here. I love lavender. It's a beautiful all-rounder. We can use this aromatically, topically, or internally, and this is a generally mild oil, which is why I chose to start with the lavender as well. So lavender is an analgesic. It's antibacterial, antifungal, antispasmodic, antidepressant, and a sedative. It's just really fantastic to use on insect bites, stings, and minor burns. Whenever I'm cooking in the kitchen, I have a little burn on the hot plate, I will go for my lavender oil and I'll apply 1 drop straight on that burn straight away, and it takes away that throbbing sensation. I also, just this evening, one of my young children had a couple of little mozzie bites on her and was complaining about itchy bites, so I just put a drop of lavender on that and it just soothed the sting for her so she could go back to sleep. It's really fantastic to apply to a bath or a foot bath. You can mix it with lemongrass and frankincense to relax the muscles, diffuse it aromatically for relaxation to aid in a restful sleep. It's really beautiful coming into that later stage of the afternoon when your children get a bit ratty, to diffuse some lavender just to create some peace and calming. You can mix it with peppermint and you apply to the temples at the hairline and the nape of the neck as well to help alleviate any tension in the head. You can mix it with geranium and dilute with water in a spray bottle for a baby bottom spritz, or mix it with a mild Castile soap for homemade baby wipes to alleviate nappy rash. I, for one, do not usually buy store-bought nappy wipes. Unless I'm traveling, I'll buy a very natural-based brand because I don't like all the chemicals that they have in it. But I was the type of person that had my own baby bum spray, and I would just use, cloth nappies that I had, or some toilet paper as well. It's a really beautiful natural alternative. It's quite soothing as well. And you can also add it to make your own aroma dough, which is really fantastic for a tactile sensory play for young children and also adults too, if you find yourself that you're quite stressed. The next one that we have is lemon. Lemon is one of my favorites. Just drop that on the computer screen. It's really uplifting and invigorating. We can use this aromatically, topically, and internally. And this one is cold pressed from the rind. So as I said, it's cleansing, it's antimicrobial, it's purifying and uplifting. If you have any kind of dank spaces in your house, or, a room that's been closed up for too long, diffuse some lemon just to really uplift the energy in the room. It really helps with allergies and histamine response. So I get a lot of hay fever. I live in the rainforest, so whenever particular trees are in flower, that'll set my sinus off, and I get really itchy eyes to the point where I'll scratch, and the sclera, I think it's called, will kind of puff up. So what I do is I apply 2 drops of lemon. I rub it in the palm of my hands, and then I breathe really deeply, and it just helps to shift that histamine response, and it takes the itch away from my eyes. It helps to kickstart digestion, so you can add a drop of lemon in your water in the morning, helps to kind of get things along. You do that around 30 minutes before you have your breakfast. It's really refreshing and zesty flavor, so you can add it, to salads or summer meals. And the beautiful part is it doesn't have the same acidic qualities as what you would if you were to squeeze lemon juice. So you're just getting that lemon flavor. It's really fantastic for removing sticky residue. Now, I had a friend in Byron Bay, had a car with old window tint that had come off, so it had just left that residue, and she couldn't see out the passenger side properly. So what I did is I grabbed my lemon, and I actually used a bit of my nail, and I think it was a coin, just to scratch a little bit to get the lemon in a bit more, and then a tissue, and I just slowly rubbed around quite firmly in circles, and was able to clear all of that sticky residue that I don't know how long that had been on her window, and she could then see out, which was pretty awesome. You can mix it with peppermint for a really zesty and uplifting aroma. Safety first, with the citrus oils, remember that they are photosensitive. So if you're going to apply these topically, not to go straight out in the sun afterwards. And also keep in mind that it's the type of sun too. Like, we have pretty harsh sun in Australia, but in any case, it's just a general rule with any citrus oils. So the second one we've got, where's my peppermint? Is our peppermint. This is really sweet, I find, as a smell, this peppermint. We can use this aromatically, topically, and internally, so they use the whole plant to distill. Peppermint's pretty amazing for an all-rounder. In fact, your lemon, lavender, or peppermint are the ones that you definitely are going to be using pretty much every day once you start your oil journey. Peppermint is antimicrobial, and it's obviously used in toothpaste for a reason. Hey, most of our toothpaste are mint flavor. It's soothing and cooling, so you can use it to add to a glass spray bottle and use it to help alleviate any sunburn, and also for fevers as well because of the cooling properties. Peppermint's actually used as a driving oil in aromatherapy, so if you're starting to use blends, you can add a drop of peppermint to help those other oils just drive deeper into the body. Peppermint's really great to help deter ants, cockroaches in the kitchen, and mice hate it as well. So I've got granite bench tops, and I also have timber bench tops too. So with the granite, I can just spray on or wipe on neat towards the back, and it's really cool for getting rid of those little tiny sugar ants that go for your honey. I don't have to make a moat anymore. But if you have wooden surfaces or that laminate bench tops, you'll probably have to apply it more frequently because it absorbs in. Dilute with a carrier oil to apply topically. It was a sensitive oil because it's got that kind of hot cool property. You don't want to create that sensation of burning, which it can be quite uncomfortable for some people. So you can apply it to the back of the neck and the back of the head to help relieve any muscle tension there. You can diffuse it aromatically to help open up and clear the respiratory tract. It's really fantastic if you are on a long drive or you need to stay focused and you've kind of hit a lull in your energy. So take a whiff of peppermint and it's that pick me up that you can have on hand that's natural. And it's really fantastic to use for flavoring desserts. So I'll put it out there if anyone wants to make me some peppermint chocolates. I am totally open to receiving. Frankincense. I never liked frankincense until I tried doTERRA frankincense. This is now one of my go-tos every single day. It's called the King of the Oils, pretty much an all-rounder. We can use this aromatically, topically, and internally. It's quite a mild oil that's generally safe to use. Neat, of course. Testing your own skin sensitivities. Everybody is different, yeah. So it's extracted from the resin of the Boswellia carteophrena. There's a few different species that they use to make the frankincense. Obviously, it depends on how readily available they are getting it, securing it from the different farmers. So frankincense it helps to reduce stress and anxiety, pain and inflammation, and it's also said to help fight cancerous cells. I've been doing a lot more research on frankincense with respects to helping facilitate healthy cell function. Taken internally, it helps to support that, so you can have a drop in water or put a drop underneath the tongue or the roof of the mouth. In my opinion, it doesn't really taste very nice, but sometimes your medicine doesn't, right? You can apply this topically for anti-aging properties, so it can help to keep your skin radiant and glowing or to reduce the appearance of some fine lines and wrinkles. So add it into your moisturizer, or alternatively, you can use the Virage skincare, which has the frankincense in it. That's what I've started using. Diffuse it aromatically to assist in relaxation and mood. It mixes well with just about every other oil. It is a safe all-rounder. They say when in doubt, use your frankincense. It's also really powerful to use for dreaming as well. So if you're coming into the spiritual magical side, you can put a drop on your pillow or have it diffusing at nighttime and see what type of dreams that you have. Oregano. I don't particularly like the smell of oregano, but I love the taste in my spaghetti bolognese. We can use this aromatically, topically, and internally. Notice the red D there. This is a hot oil. And how do I know? Because I am super skeptical and critically minded, and I don't just take things for granted. I actually tested this myself. So I put a drop on, I think it was on the side of my belly or something, or around near my sciatica maybe. And yeah, it's hot. It's kind of got a chilly sting and a chilly burn to it. So be really careful with this oil around children and dilute this one heavily. Okay, so it is antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic, good for intestinal worms, anti-inflammatory. You can use it in cooking for flavoring dishes such as spaghetti or gravy. Helps with digestion. You can diffuse it aromatically when seasonal threats present. So it's really cool to help fight those pathogens. Use topically, diluted with fractionated coconut oil for warts. And you can layer with On Guard, so that means a drop at a time. To help boost your immunity, and you'd apply that to the feet at night time. Melaleuca or tea tree. This is really beautiful. It's actually sourced in Australia. We can use this aromatically, topically, internally. It's generally safe to use without dilution. But again, it all depends on your own skin. I have actually met a woman that reacts to tea tree. It doesn't matter what brand it is. So just be really mindful when using these oils that you start out safe and just experiment a little bit over time. So tea tree is really cleansing and purifying. It's antiseptic, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It's great for minor scrapes, bites, and stings. This is an awesome one to have on hand if you're going camping. Apply it diluted to the skin to help soothe irritations, rashes, and blemishes. Really good for your skin, for acne as well, just to help clear up, particularly hormonal acne, I find. You can gargle with warm water for a sore throat. I've done this when I had a bit of strep throat a couple of months back. It didn't taste very nice. Obviously, you don't swallow it because I don't like the taste. But it helped to get rid of that razor sharp edge at the back of my throat. So I do that around 3 times a day. You can diffuse it aromatically to purify the air of odors and create a spritz with rosemary oil for head lice. All right, so now we're going to get into the proprietary blends. So this is my favorite, On Guard. And it's like Christmas in a bottle. We can use this aromatically, topically, or internally. I don't know, I'm in two minds. It says that we can apply this neat, but I find that it's a bit hot. It's got the cinnamon oil in it, so I always dilute it, particularly on children of sensitive skin, yeah. So the blends in that, we've got wild orange, clove buds, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary leaf. It is a hot oil, so dilute it. It's a powerful, powerful immune support, so you can diffuse it just to help with seasonal pathogens, or you can actually put it in a nebulizer or atomizer. So the difference between that is a diffuser is mixed with water, so it's a cold steam, whereas a nebulizer or atomizer just vibrates the oil molecules and splits them up into a fine mist, so it just uses the oils. And what that can do is to help reduce mold spores, and actually attaches to them, and that particular blend of oils can help reduce those mold spores, which I have been learning, because I live in the rainforest, can actually cause a lot of common cold symptoms, depression, or all these other things can actually be from mold spores in our home. The thing about mold, just really quickly, is if it reaches the seeing or smelling stage, it's actually at a mother culture. And if you have mold outside, any type of mold, whether it's on the outside foundations of your home, then you've got mold on the inside. And I live in the rainforest, so like constantly amongst mold spores. You can dilute it and apply topically to the throat, the chest, and the soles of the feet at the first sign of a compromised immune system for seasonal viruses, or even before that. If you know that there's a bit of a virus or a sickness going around, use it as a prevention medicine just to help boost the immunity that you need to support you through that season. It's really cleansing and purifying as well. If you're doing any type of energy or spiritual work, On Guard is your go-to to clear energetic space as well. You can use it as a surface cleaner. They actually have an amazing array of On Guard products, and it's really awesome for cleaning scum and residue, so whether it's in the oven, the bathroom, or the toilet. The next one we have is called Deep Blue. So the Deep Blue's got the wintergreen, camphor bark, peppermint, blue tansy, blue chamomile flower, helichrysum, and omanthes flower. It smells like what most of us would commonly know as deep heat. So we can use this topically. It is a bit of a hot oil, yeah, because of the wintergreen in it. It's fantastic. I use it to help with my sciatica, actually. So it helps to relieve sore muscles and tension after exercise. It eases aches associated with growing pains. Used regularly, it helps to promote muscle, joint and bone health. And the wintergreen assists in easing symptoms associated with sciatica and gout. So this is a really beautiful one to have on hand, particularly coming into the cooler months as well. If any of you have I have arthritis in my foot and sciatica down in my lower sacrum, and it just helps to take that edge off. Digest Zen. This is my eldest daughter's favorite. Where am I? Yeah. She's got the other big bottle in her room. The ingredients in this, we've got ginger, peppermint, caraway seed, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel. I absolutely hate anise. I'm not a big fan of like licorice flavors, so I do not particularly like the smell of this oil. but it works. So we can use this aromatically, topically, and internally. Generally, it's a neat, but I still find that it's got a little bit of a cooling sensation from the peppermint in there. So we can use it aromatically and apply diluted to help ease sensations of nauseousness or motion sickness. That's what my daughter uses it from. We live up a mountain, so to get down the hill, she constantly gets queasy. So we apply a drop and she applies it clockwise direction around her belly, and that pretty much instantaneously helps to alleviate those symptoms. It can also help to ease anxious feelings of butterflies in the stomach. So if you're presenting or anything like that, that can be a really good one to help with those anxious feelings. You can use it daily to maintain healthy bowel movements, and used internally, you'd have 1 drop in a glass of water to aid digestion and to soothe symptoms of inflammation in the bowel. The next one we have is Easy Air. This is a fantastic, I go through Easy Air a lot. We can use this aromatically and topically. It's a sensitive oil. It's because of the peppermint. So we've got laurel leaf, peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree, lemon, ravensara, cardamom as well. So it's really minty and uplifting. It helps to clear the sinus and support the respiratory tract. So you can apply a drop into your hand, rub them together, create that little tent, breathe in deeply to help open up the airways. Apparently, it's really awesome if you diffuse if your partner is a snorer. Now, mine's not really a snorer, so I've never had to try that, but I've heard great results. I can't say from experience, though. You can apply topically with a carrier oil around the heart if you have anxious feelings. So if you're feeling a bit of anxiety coming through, just kind of giving that love back to yourself, and you'll find it kind of opens this heart space up. Yeah, it just softens that restriction that we feel in this space. You can apply it topically on the chest, on the back, and the soles of feet at the first sign of seasonal threats, the same way you would with Vicks Vapor Rub, but it just doesn't have the petrochemicals in it. Yeah, it's all natural. You can diffuse it aromatically in dark, musky spaces to just help uplift and cleanse that space as well. So there's our 10 oils. Now I'm going to share with you why you should choose doTERRA. So doTERRA literally translates to gift of the earth. doTERRA difference. So we've got CPTG. They are certified pure therapeutic grades. They're actually rigorously tested. I'm going to share more about these points individually. The co-impact partnerships, fair trade, and farmers are paid on time. They actually source their plants indigenously. They have amazing philanthropic endeavors, and they're a company with integrity. So CPTG, what is it? You've probably seen this around on the internet, floated around, not really sure what it is. You might have seen a lot of negative comments on it online. I'm the type of person that when I joined with doTERRA, I actually researched the company first, and then I enrolled before I'd even tried any of their products. It was the ethics and the morals of the company which got me on board. A big part of that is the CPTG. Now, the essential oil market per se is unregulated, which means there is no governing body to clarify whether something is therapeutic grade or not. So what that means is that you could go into your department store, supermarket, $2 shop, whatever, find an essential oil really cheap that says therapeutic grade, and you don't know if it actually is therapeutic grade or if it's full of synthetic fillers, if the plants have been grown with pesticides, yeah? So what doTERRA has done is they have created their own trademark. So they own this trademark called CPTG. And the reason why they're doing that is they are standing at the forefront for creating that standard of quality. And what they have said to any other essential oil company is if they can stand up to the quality and the testing that is needed to get that CPTG stamp of approval, then they will happily hand over that trademark to set the standard for the essential oil market. So as we go into that, doTERRA is extrinsically tested. They have actually partnered with third-party testing places, laboratories, and also universities. They've partnered with Johns Hopkins University, and I can't remember a couple of the other ones. So they go through rigorous third-party tested. Third-party meaning that they have no vested interest in doTERRA at all. And the reason why they do that and they create the transparency is because they want to stand behind the purity of their product and standing for creating the most purest essential oils on the market. So next we go into co-impact sourcing, which is the heart of doTERRA. Co-impact sourcing pretty much means that it's a relationship based practice, that doTERRA do not own any of their farms. What they will do is they travel around the world and they will source these plants wherever they grow indigenously, and they will create relationships with the farmers already growing these plants and set up that partnership that is mutually beneficial for both of them. So what that means is that these farmers are being paid fair trade wages and they're being paid on time. And why this matters is that a lot of these farmers are in what we consider developing nations. As you can see here, there's a map of some of the plants that we source globally. So the philanthropy side of doTERRA. doTERRA has set up their own charity, which is called the Healing Hands Foundation. And this touches my heart in so many ways, and there's so many new beautiful products coming on each year. I'm just going to focus on 3 this evening. So the first one is the Days for Girls. Then we've got Operation Underground Railroad, and then the Mentors International. So the Days for Girls project is that a lot of wellness advocates have gotten together to actually make packs of feminine hygiene products. And what they found that there's a lot of girls in developing countries, and in actual fact, I just read an article a couple of days ago that this is also happening in Australia, and I would like to send into head office in Australia to help get this into Indigenous communities, because a lot of young girls that are approaching menarche or coming into their bleeding are actually missing out on school or work opportunities because of their menstrual cycle. And what's also happening is they're being outcast from their communities. There's a massive taboo placed around it. They're considered dirty, etc. And when you're dealing with young girls that are developing, that's this stigma that gets attached to them, that they're dirty and worthless and all these other things. That's not setting them up for true empowerment as a young woman, particularly when they're missing out on education opportunities. So doTERRA has partnered with this amazing project to go into these developing communities and to share these packs that have cloth pads in them and other menstrual education, as well as sexual education too. And that bridges us into Operation Underground Railroad. Now, there's a video that you can have a look at. If you just type in doTERRA Operation Underground Railroad, it should be on YouTube, or if not, it's on their doTERRA website. This really touches my heart, and mainly because I'm a really caring and nurturing person, and I consider that most children are like my own. I treat them like my own. So what Operation Underground Railroad is, it actually goes into specific areas, mainly throughout Asia, and it targets sexual child exploitation and trafficking. And what they do is they don't just go in there and raise awareness. They're actually removing these children to safe houses and getting them out of this horrible experience. So doTERRA has partnered with Operation Underground Railroad. They created the Hope Blend, which is actually available in Australia now. And what they did within the labels is they wrote down different information to get these girls and boys into safe houses, and they distributed them in, I guess, what we would call like the red light district. Yeah, so these known places where sexual tourism was happening, and that these children were being exploited, in hopes that these children would find them and then find their way to a safe house. So doTERRA raised, I think it was over $200,000, which also helped to build a new like police office, in the sense that they could then target the cyber component, so the internet trade of these young children. And it's so beautiful. So the other really beautiful project that doTERRA and the Healing Hands Foundation have partnered with is Mentor International. And so what Mentors is a micro lending incentives. So what that does is, for a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, particularly in developing countries, they create these microloans at low interest so that it empowers these people to create startup businesses, to then inject economy into their communities and to get themselves out of their current financial circumstances in an empowering way, rather than, you know, a lot of charities around the world, particularly big name ones, the money that's donated for charity doesn't actually make its way to the ground. It gets, you know, swept up in the upper echelons of administration and wages and bonuses. So this way, the money is definitely being channeled to the people that need it the most, and in creating that self-reliance and responsibility as well. So how do you buy these beautiful doTERRA oils? Well, the best way is to become a doTERRA wellness advocate. So there's two ways to become a wellness advocate. The basic way is to opt in with a $35 membership fee. So what that will do is it will set you up with a wholesale account. And that means that you are going to get access to all of the doTERRA products, and also the Healing Hands Foundation as well. For you get the 25% off of retail price, which is pretty awesome. You also get access to their amazingly generous loyalty rewards program, and you get to have the opportunity to receive a free product of the month, and to also earn between 10 and 30% back in product credits, which you can then redeem for free product, which is pretty cool. So as I said, you can contribute to the Healing Hands Foundation as well. And there's also the opportunity, if you're interested, to start sharing and building an amazingly abundant business with residual income. So the next way, the wisest way to join in, is with an enrollment kit. Now there's many different types of enrollment kits to suit different budgets. So the largest kit that we have available in Australia is called the Oil Sharing Kit, which includes these 10 oils, and there's a double up of them. This is a really beautiful kit if you're just like, yep, love my oils, I want to get in. The beautiful incentive about joining with the bigger kit is, if you see here on the right-hand side, is you're going to get $200 back in LRP credits. So that's like doTERRA dollars that you can then redeem for more product later. And you're going to enter in at a 20% cash back kind of doTERRA points-based rebate. So what that means, on all of your future products, doTERRA is also going to give you 20% back of your purchase price in credit points that you can then use to redeem more product. Pretty amazing. The biggest kit in the United States is the Diamond Kit. So as well as, you know, getting these extra incentives like these product credits and that, you're also saving more money by bundling them together in a kit. So this particular one, you're going to get 400 product credits back, and you start at that 25% rebate, which is pretty amazing. Most people that we know that have been doing the doTERRA business wish that they started with this kit. So it's totally up to you where you are and how inspired you are feeling with your oil journey. So this is pretty much going to give you almost every product that doTERRA has, their whole range. So the other options that we have is, we've got the Essential Collection with the Smart and Sassy bonus, and then the most popular all-rounder kit that kind of suits most budgets is the Home Essentials kits. Now, the difference between these two, aside from the price, so the one on the left is $174 and the one on the right is $330. They have the same 10 oils. The Essential Collection, you get the extra Smart and Sassy, or Slim and Sassy. And on the right, for the Home Essentials kit, you get the diffuser with it. So the difference is is the size in the bottle. So that smaller one, which is the Essentials Collection, has the 5 ml bottles, and the Home Essentials has the 15 ml bottle. So if you have a look at the price, you're actually getting 3 times as much oil in the Home Essentials for only twice the price, and you're getting a diffuser with it as well. So then we go on to the Loyalty Rewards program, which is how you can how I buy my oils and how most people buy their oils is to order monthly and take advantage of this amazingly generous program. So it's pretty much like frequent flyers in the sense that doTERRA is going to reward your loyalty. Yeah, so if you commit to buying monthly, depending on your budget, however that fluctuates, there's different incentives for doing it. So on top of getting access to the products at 25% discount, the loyalty rewards program then offers you the opportunity to receive between 10 and 30% back on your purchase price in points that you can then use for more oils. So if you have a look at this little graph down here, say for instance, if you love the Home Essentials kit and you were like, yep, totally going to buy that one, get my diffuser. What that means is you are going to enter in at a 10% rebate. So it means if you were to order the following month, you're going to get 10% of your purchase price back in points that you can use for products later. If you continue to order each month, and there's specific requirement for it, it would be an order over 50 PV, meaning personal volume, because everything in doTERRA is kind of like points based. It means that you're going to roll over. So if you were ordering every 3 months over 50 PV, it's going to roll over and slowly incur 5% at a time. So after 13 months, you're going to get 30% back of your purchase price in points that you can use to get free product. Is pretty amazing. You also have the opportunity every single month they release a product of the month, which is available for the first 2 weeks. And to qualify for that, if you have an order in that equates to 125 PV, then you get that free product, which is pretty cool. And every quarter, they also have a bonus 200 PV order month, which is generally over $120 worth of product as well, which is fantastic. So Essential Wellness starts one drop at a time. If you love what you've been hearing and you're curious and you want to join my tribe, you can head over to my website, which is donnaraymond.com.au/oil priestess, or at the homepage, you'll see that tab at the top. The protocol with doTERRA, though, as we work with integrity, is if somebody else has already instigated a journey with introducing you to these beautiful products, and please go back to them and honor that connection with them. And if those people are from my team leaders, that's Joanne Stewart from Essential Oil Mate. You've got Lucy Hart from Essential Oil for Wellness in Cairns, and Rebecca Raymond from A Drop in Health. And there's an amazing myriad of other beautiful team leaders as well. It's a wonderful, abundant tribe that we have creating. In June, we just had a promotional bonus, and it's actually been carried forth. So the time of recording this, it is the 4th of July, 2017. So up until the 14th of the month, they've actually carried this June bonus through. So if you order over 200 PV, whether you are enrolling for the first time or you're putting in a LRP order, if you order over 200 PV, you are going to get this beautiful bottle of Solubel. So just the ingredients in there, we've got frankincense, sandalwood, lavender, myrrh, helichrysum, and rose. So some of these oils just on their own are quite rare. So they're the more, what we would call the more expensive oils, because of just the way that they are extracted and distilled. For instance, there's so many tons of rose petals that need to be distilled to create 5 ml of rose oil. So just to reiterate, the Home Essentials kit, it is the perfect all-rounder that includes those 10 oils that I've spoken about, and that equates to 235 PV. So if you want to take advantage of that amazing bonus offer, this one is going to get you to qualify. Within Australia, for most residential areas, the postage is pretty quick. It's around 3 to 5 days, depending where you are. I know that ours gets shipped from the warehouse in Melbourne. It takes around 5 days for me in Coranda near Cairns. But if you live rurally, it's generally a week or a little bit more. One thing that I always encourage people to add to their order, whether it's your enrollment order or your next LRP, is your fractionated coconut oil. And the reason being is that then you are all prepared to start using your essential oils safely rather than trying to source your own carrier oil. Having said that, some people are allergic to coconut oil. So in that instance, I'd probably recommend a thin oil like a macadamia oil or a jojoba oil. something that you like to use on your skin as well, kind of give you that silky smooth feeling. So as I mentioned and promised, I've got some recipes to share with you. So the mint choc bliss balls, these are fantastic, really quick to create for your kids. Fantastic if you want to start sharing the oils and you want to create a really beautiful treat that's incorporating the essential oils. So we've got 2 cups of almonds, cup of dates, cup of coconut, half a cup of oats, and 2 tablespoons of cacao, or to personal taste. Sometimes people like them really chocolatey, and you'd use a tablespoon of coconut oil to bind. So you just whiz that all up in a food processor, and you'd add 1 to 2 drops of peppermint at the end, roll them up into balls, and away you go. You can also add other types of dried fruits into these, or other types of nuts as well. Bliss balls are pretty easy to make. You can also include pumpkin seeds, or sunflower seeds as well. Chia is really beautiful to have in them for a bit of crunch. Waldorf salad, I swiped this off the doTERRA website. I'm going to try this one. So we're using apples, celery, walnuts, Greek yogurt, the lemon essential oil. As I mentioned before, you're just going to get this really beautiful zesty flavor without the acidity of what would happen if you were to use freshly squeezed lemon. So you pretty much combined all of that in the bowl and serve. Head lice spritz. Now, this is really great for prevention. So constantly using, I would encourage people to make up a spray bottle in a glass bottle. Spray, you can get that from Aromatools, so au.aromatools.com. And just be spritzing on the hair as you brush through and you're doing your hair or your children's hair in the morning. So that's 10 drops of tea tree, 5 drops of rosemary, 2 drops of frankincense, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, and then you just topped up with filtered water or distilled water, and as I mentioned, just spray on the hair. So that's in an 8-ounce bottle. They're about that big. Next one, so 10 ml roller blends. These are some of my favorite blends to use. My favorite all time, I called Activate, is 10 drops of frankincense and 4 drops of lavender with fractionated coconut oil, or you can apply a drop of frankincense, drop of lavender on your wrist, use them neat. For me, it helps to create clarity. It takes away the mental fog that I have from sleep deprivation, because I have a child that just is not really the best sleeper. So that works for me. It's a really beautiful, uplifting and activating blend. Awaken is 7 drops of wild orange, 4 drops of peppermint. This is fantastic to have around 2 o'clock when you generally go for your caffeine hit. Just pop this on. It helps to kind of awaken you and lift you out of that sluggish part of the day. It's really cool to use these mixtures of oils in aromatic diffuser jewelry as well, particularly for children. So if you've got children that are studying at school, give them a mix of these oils to just allow them to stay really focused and able to concentrate. So really fantastic to have if you've got a deadline or an assignment or something that you need to be focused on. The immune boosting one is 12 drops of On Guard, 2 drops of oregano, 3 of lavender, and 3 frankincense. Mix that up in a 10 ml roller, and you can apply to the soles of the feet before bed. We apply to the soles of the feet because of the pores there. It's the highest number of pores. And also with essential oils, they go into our bloodstream within minutes. So it's really fantastic to have while we're sleeping, because they go to where they need to go and help support us while we're resting. Diffuser blends, it's really fantastic to be able to experiment with your diffuser blends, so I really encourage you to give it a go. Sometimes you're going to come up with some blends that are just like but the good thing is that between 4 and 6 hours that'll spray through. Spray is not even the right word. It'll mist and diffuse through. So an inspiration blend, I would recommend 4 drops of lavender, 2 drops of wild orange, and 3 drops of frankincense. For congestion, 6 drops of easy air, 2 drops of lemon. A word of caution, just be really mindful with little children in a closed, confined space. Depending on the size of your room, just ease off on the easy air, or it's called breathe in the United States. A pick-me-up blend would be 2 drops of peppermint, 4 drops of wild orange. Wild orange it's known as like the oil of play. It is really beautiful. They say that you can't have a negative thought when you are sniffing wild orange, so whip that out. Be mindful though, if you have small children, this is not a blend that you want to have on early evening when you're trying to settle everybody into that routine. It's a really uplifting, energizing blend, and it also makes people really chatty. So if you're a teacher or any type of class environment, just be really mindful of your wild orange. Immune boost, I would suggest 6 drops of On Guard, 2 drops of lemon, and 1 drop of tea tree. For allergies, 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of lemon, and 3 drops of peppermint. So we've got the cleansing and purifying going on in the peppermint to really open up that respiratory tract. And for sleepy nights, I recommend 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of Roman chamomile, and 3 drops of wild orange. So if you're looking for any more essential oil support and education, please reach out in our Oily Risers group or the main group from Leonie Dawson, which is Team Unicorn Oils. Oh no, actually, she is now called it Essential Oils with Leonie Dawson. She has changed the name. And if you've got any questions, please ask. As I mentioned before, you can head on over to my website for more information, donnaraymond.com.au/oil-priestess. That's where you will find me. Otherwise, my doTERRA store website is mydoterra.com/donnaraymond1, but I recommend you go through my personal website just so I give you a run through on how to come and join my tribe. So with all that, I would like to thank you so much for your time and for watching my presentation. I hope you got some valuable information out of this. Please share with anybody that you feel needs to have these oils in their life or would like a little bit more basic essential oil education. And I look forward to creating more videos for you. So much love. Mwah! I look forward to connecting with you more. See ya.